Hello everyone, my name is Anshita Raghuvanshi and I am working as an assistant professor in VBDU University, Lucknow. Today and here I am going to discuss on a topic plant hormones and their applications. So let's start. What are plant hormones? Plant hormones are a group of naturally occurring organic substances which influence physiological process at low concentration. The processes influenced consist mainly of growth, differentiation, and development, though other processes such as stomatal movement may also be affected. So we can say that basically plant hormones are those naturally occurring organic substances which in minute quantity can all which or we can say that which in a minute quantity can influence any physiological process which is occurring in plant related to its growth or its development or the processes which are going inside the plant, the cycles or the production of secondary metabolites in plants or their stomatal movement, everything, any with the depletion or increase or decrease in minute quantity can affect basically the entire plant. It can make plant growth inappropriate or it can cause extra ripening. Like if I'm talking about fruit, if there is influence of hormone, the fruit can become more ripened or it will not become ripened. The plant height will be affected or anything related to growth or production of any chemical constituent in extra amount or in less amount, anything can be affected by influence of hormone, plant hormone. So we can say that plant hormones are a group of naturally occurring organic substance which influence physiological process at even very low concentrations in differentiation or uh, depletion or increase or decrease in even a low concentration can affect the entire plant. Plant hormones have also been referred to as phytohormones because they are plant hormones, so they are also referred as phytohormones. This term hormone was first coined by Wendt and Thiamin in 1937. Wendt and Thiamin in 1937 defined a hormone as a substance which is transferred from one part of an organism to other. These people, Wendt and Thiamin in 1937, said that hormone is a substance which is transferred from one part of an organism to another part of that specific organism. The term hormone was first used in medicine about 100 years ago for a stimulatory factor, though it has come to mean a transported chemical message. The word in fact comes from the Greek where it is the meaning of that specific word is to stimulate or to set in motion. So, plant hormones are a unique set of compounds with unique metabolism and properties. We can say that these are set of organic compounds which have a unique or a specific metabolism and the specific property. Each hormone will have their specific defined metabolism and specific property that form the subject of this book. Their only universal characteristics are that they are natural compound in plant with an ability to affect physiological process at concentration far below those where either nutrients or vitamins would affect these processes. The only similarity we can say that every hormone is that they are naturally occurring compounds and in lower concentration can easily affect the physiological processes of the plant as compared to the other nutrients or metabolites present in plants, like it can be vitamins or any other nutrients. The way they affect is far more greater than hormones affect the physiological process of the plant. The development of the plant hormone concept and early work. The plant hormone concept probably derives from observation of morphogenic and developmental correlation by Sachs between 1880 and 1893. He suggested that morphological differences between plant organs are due to differences in their material composition, and postulated the existence of root forming, flower forming, and other substances that move in different directions through the plant. So this Sachs, he suggested that the morphological difference between each plant organ is due to the differences in the material composition. The composition from which that specific part is made is responsible for the morphological structure or organ of that plant. So like root formation is different, the process of root formation is different, process of flower forming is different. So all these things. Next, at the same time, Darwin was making his original observation on phototropism of glass coleoptiles that led him to postulate the existence of signal that was transported from tip to the coleoptile to the bending regions lower down. The Darwin, at the same time when Sachs was observing different things, Darwin, he observed that on a grass coleoptile that there was a signal which was transported from tip of that coleoptile to bending region, so lower down. So after further characterizations by several workers of the way in which the signal was moved, Wendt in the Netherlands was finally able to isolate the chemical by diffusion from coleoptile tips into agar blocks, which when replaced on the tips of decapitated coleoptiles resulted in stimulation of growth of that decapitated coleoptile and the bending when placed asymmetrically on these tips. This thus demonstrated the existence of a growth promoting chemical that was synthesized in coleoptile tips, moved basipetally when distributed asymmetrically resulted in a bending of coleoptile away from the side with the higher concentration. This substance was originally named Buchhoff's by Wendt and later this was changed to auxin. So first hormone auxin was discovered by this following process. Like in an experiment in glass coleoptile, scientists found that there was a signal which was transmitted from upper part to lower part, bending part. And when the experiment was carried out by collaboration in agar stone, a chemical was found which was known as growth promoting chemical, and the name of that chemical was auxin. The next is discovery of other hormones. After auxin, the various different plant hormones were discovered, like other lines of investigation led to the discovery of other hormones. Research in plant pathogens led to the discovery of gibberellins. Then effort to culture tissue led to the discovery of cytokinins. The control of abscission and dormancy led to the discovery of abscisic acid, that is ABA, and the effect of eliminating gas and smoke led to the discovery of gland hormone ethylene. So let's discuss one by one the each and every plant hormone, its nature, its site of biosynthesis, where it is transported, and their functions, or we can say their application. So the first is auxin. What is the nature of auxin? Auxin basically is indole 3 acetic acid. Another name of auxin is IAA, that is indole 3 acetic acid. Indole 3 acetic acid is the main auxin in most plants. Compounds which serve as IAA precursor may also have auxin activity. Example, indole acetaldehyde. Some plants contain other compounds that display weak auxin activity. Example, phenylacetic acid. IAA may also be present as various conjugates such as indole acetyl aspartate. 4-chloro-IAA has also been reported in several species. Several synthetic oxens are also used in commercial applications. Now, what is the site of biosynthesis of oxen or IAA? It is synthesized from tryptophan or indole primarily in leaf, primordia and young leaves and in developing seeds. Basically, the site where oxen is synthesized in developing leaf. The site of biosynthesis of oxen is in leaf, the part of the which part of the plant, that is leaf or developing seeds. We can say it at young leaf or developing seeds. And from which compound? With that is tryptophan or indole. The precursor for synthesis of oxen or indole acetic acid, that is IA, is tryptophan or indole. And the site is the young leaves or developing seeds. And now how it is transported. IAA transport is a cell to cell. That is, we can say that oxygen is transported from one cell to another. In a plant, it is being transported from one cell to other cell. Transport to root probably also involves the phloem. And if you're talking about root, then it also involves the phloem part of that plant. Now, what are the functions of oxens? What are the use or what are the applications of auxin in plant? The following are some of the responses that auxin is known to cause. Number one is it stimulates cell elongation. What is the first function of auxin? Or we can say one of the function of auxin is cell elongations. Because and how it is transported from one cell to other. So it helps in cell elongation or it stimulates cell elongation. The next is stimulates cell division in the cambium and in combination with cytokinin in tissue culture. In cambium part, it stimulates cell division. And if we combine auxin with cytokinin, if we're talking about tissue culture and plant tissue culture technique, if auxin is combined with cytokinin, then also it stimulates cell division. Because why we require auxin and cytokinin or plant hormone in tissue culture technique? Because we are artificially growing that environment. So both if auxin and cytokinins are combined in tissue culture, they stimulate cell division in the cambium. Stimulates differentiation of phloem and xylem. The xylem and phloem can be differentiated with the help of the stimulation by auxin. If auxin stimulates, the differentiation of phloem and xylem occurs. So it also stimulates root initiation on stem cutting and lateral root development in tissue culture. Mediates the tropistic response of bending in response to gravity and light. The auxin supply from the apical bud suppresses growth of lateral buds. Its supply from the apical bud, auxin make its supply or is applicable in apical buds but suppresses the growth of lateral buds. Delays leaf senescence. What is leaf synthesis? It means that aging of the leaf, which causes degradation of food supply and reduces the and causes the death of the leaf. So auxin suppress or delays leaf senescence. It can inhibit or promote leaf and fruit abscission. It can also induce fruit setting and growth in some plants. It is involved in assimilate movement towards auxin possibly by an effect on phloem transport, delays fruit ripening, promotes flowering in bromeliads, stimulates growth of flower parts, promotes femaleness in dioecious flower, stimulates the production of ethylene at high concentration. The next plant hormone is gibberellins. So what is the nature of gibberellins? The gibberellins are a family of compounds based on N-gibberellate structure. While the most widely available compound is Ga3 or gibberellic acid, which is a fungal product. What is the source or what is the nature of gibberellin? It is available from the compound that is Ga3 or gibberellic acid, which is a fungal product. The most important gibberellin in plant is Ga1, which is the Ga primarily responsible for stem elongation. Many of the others gibberellins are precursor of growth active Ga1. What it is responsible for? Stem elongation. Gibberellin is responsible for the stem elongation of any specific plant. What is site of biosynthesis, or where gibberellin is synthesized or produced? Gibberellins are synthesized from mevalonic acid in young tissues of shoot and developing seeds. It is synthesized in basically young tissues of shoots and developing seeds, the seeds which are getting developed, or young tissues of plant. It is uncertain whether synthesis also occur in roots. Sometimes we can say that gibberellins also occur in, or the synthesis of gibberellin occur in roots, but it is normally not possible. In some cases it occurs. And the transportation, or we can say the transport, occurs probably from phloem and xylem. The gibberellins are mostly transported in the phloem and xylem part of the plant. So basically, in short, we can say that gibberellins are responsible for stem elongation and are synthesized from mevalonic acid. The main precursor of gibberellin is mevalonic acid, which is found in young tissues of shoots and developing seeds, tissue of the developing seed and young shoots. And sometimes, or uncertainly, it can also occur in root, and route for transportation is from or in phloem and xylem. What are functions of gibberellin? Active gibberellins show many physiological effects, each depending on the type of gibberellin present as well as the species of plant. Some of physiological processes are stimulated by gibberellins are outlined below. The number one is stimulate stem elongation by stimulating cell division and elongation. It stimulates bolting, flowering in response to long days. What does bolting in plant means like, or stimulate bolting means that bolting is the natural phenomena in plant for production, or it is an attempt to produce seeds which can easily reproduce. So gibberellin causes bolting or flowering in response to long days. Breaks seed dormancy in some plants, which requires stratification or light to induce germination. It stimulates enzyme production, A-amylase, in germinating cereal grains for mobilization of seed reserves. It also induces maleness in dioecious flower, sex expression. Can cause parthenocarpic or seedless fruit development. It can delay senescence in leaves and citrus fruit. The next hormone is cytokinins. So what is the nature of cytokinins? Cytokinins are adenine derivatives characterized by ability to induce cell division in tissue culture. That is in the presence of auxin. Cytokinins function in presence of auxin while tissue culture technique, in cell division in tissue culture technique. The most common cytokinin base in plant is zeatin. Zeatin is the most common base of cytokinin which is present in plants. It also, or cytokinins also occurs as ribosides and ribotides. So we can say that cytokinins are basically used with combination with auxin or in presence of auxin, or they function in the presence of auxin in cell division in tissue culture technique. And they are the derivatives of adenine. That is why they also occur as ribosides and ribotides. What is the site of biosynthesis of cytokinins? Cytokinins biosynthesis is through the biochemical modification of adenine. When we modify adenine by any biochemical reaction, the production of cytokinin occurs, or synthesis of cytokinin occurs. It occurs basically in root tips and developing seeds. Where it occurs in root tips of the root of any plant and developing seeds. The seeds which are not developed or in initial phase of developing. Then transport. Cytokinin transport is via the xylem from roots to shoot. Where cytokinins are being transported, it is being transported via the xylem from roots to shoot. So roots to shoot via xylem. Functions of cytokinins. What is the function of cytokinin? A list of some of known physiological effects caused by cytokinins are listed below. The response will vary depending upon the type of cytokinins and plant species. It stimulates cell division. The main function of cytokinin is to stimulate cell division. Stimulates morphogenesis, that is shoot initiation and bud formation in tissue culture. Basically, it is applied in tissue culture technique for morphogenesis, that is shoot initiation and bud formation. It stimulates the growth of lateral buds, release of apical dominance. Lateral bud release, it means when shoot is cut off, the lateral bud begins to lengthen, which is mediated by release of cytokinins. If the buds are cut off and then again buds are coming, then cytokinins helps in the growth of that bud. Which type of buds? Which is cut, and again it is growing. So it is grown with the help of cytokinins. And what is apical dominance? Apical dominance is when the initial shoot is dominant over the other side shoots or stems of the plant. The next is it stimulates leaf expansion resulting from cell enlargement. It also stimulates leaf expansion resulting from cell enlargement. It may enhance stomatal opening in some species. Then next is it promotes the conversion of etioplast and into chloroplast via stimulation of chlorophyll synthesis. So what are etioplasms? Etioplasms are those chloroplasts which are not or which have not been exposed to light. So it promotes the conversion of etioplast into chloroplast. Etioblasts are those chloroplasts which are not even or ever exposed to light. So the conversion of them into chloroplast is being enhanced, or it's been promoted by the help of plant hormone cytokinins. The next hormone is abscisic acid. What is the nature of abscisic acid? Abscisic acid is a single compound with the above formula. Its name is rather unfortunate. The first name given was abscissin because it was thought to control the abscission on the cotton balls. Abscission means the natural detachment of a part of plant, that is dead leaves and or ripe fruit. Sometimes we can see that the dead leaves, the leaves which are not alive, are removed by themselves from the plant or detached from themselves by the plants. So ripened fruits are detached by the plants. So that is why because it was responsible for the control of abscission, so the name was given abscissin. At almost the same time, another group named it dormant from the purported role in bud dormancy by a comprise the name abscisic acid was coined. It's now appeared to have little role in either abscission or bud dormancy, but we are stuck with this name as a result of the original association with abscission and dormancy. ABA has become thought of as an inhibitor. While exogenous application can inhibit growth in plants, ABA appears to act as much as promoter as an inhibitor, and a more open attitude towards its overall role in plant development is warranted. What is the site of biosynthesis of abscisic acid? Basically, ABA or abscisic acid is synthesized from mevalonic acid in roots and mature leaves, particularly in response to water stress. When there is water stress in plant, so mevalonic acid acts as a precursor for synthesis of abscisic acid in which part of the plant? In mature leaf as well as in roots. Roots are the mature part and leaves in mature leaves. When water stress is there, in response to water stress, mevalonic acid acts as a precursor for synthesis of abscisic acid. Seeds are also rich in abscisic acid, which may be important from the leaves or synthesized in situ. Now coming on to the transport of abscisic acid. Abscisic acid is exported from roots in the xylem and from leaf in the phloem. Where it is transported? From xylem, it is from roots in the xylem. Because it is produced in roots, so it will be transferred from roots to xylem and from leaves to phloem. Next, there is some evidence that abscisic acid may circulate to the roots in phloem and then return to the shoots in the xylem. Some evidence also shows that it circulates first in root in phloem part and then it returns to shoot in the xylem. Now coming on to the functions of abscisic acid, or what is the role of abscisic acid in plants. There are following some of the physiological responses known to be associated with abscisic acid. Number one is it stimulates the closure of stomata. That is, water stress bring about an increase in abscisic acid synthesis. It is responsible for the closure of stomata. Then it inhibits shoot growth but will not have as much effect on roots or may even promote growth of roots. The third is it induces seeds to synthesize storage proteins. It helps in induction of seeds to synthesize storage proteins. It also inhibits the effect of gibberellins on stimulating de novo synthesis of alpha amylase. The de novo synthesis of alpha amylase is affected with the help of this abscisic acid. So these are the functions of abscisic acid, major functions of abscisic acid like closure of stomata, stimulation of closure of stomata, inhibition of shoot growth, but will not affect the roots, or even it also helps in promotion of growth of root. The next is induces seeds to synthesize storage proteins. The next is it has some effect on induction and maintenance of dormancy. That is, induction and dormancy in a plant is being affected by abscisic acid. It also induces gene transcription easily for proteinase inhibitors in response to wounding, which may explain an apparent role in pathogen defense. Now next hormone is ethylene. Next plant hormone is ethylene. The nature of ethylene. The ethylene is a plant growth regulator that acts as a trace level of entire plant. life by regulating and stimulating the opening flowers, fruits ripening, and shedding of leaves. The gas ethylene is synthesized from methionine in many tissues in response to stress and is the fruit ripening hormone. It does not seem to be essential for normal mature vegetative growth as ethylene deficient transgenic plants grow normally. So, however, they cannot as seedlings penetrate the soil because they lack the stem thickening and apical hoop responses to ethylene, and they are susceptible to disease because they lack the ethylene-induced disease-resistant responses. It is the only hydrocarbon with a pronounced effects on plant. So what is ethylene responsible for? Basically ripening of fruits, opening of flower buds to convert into flower, and shedding of leaves. What is site of biosynthesis, or where the ethylene is synthesized? Ethylene is synthesized by most tissues in response to stress. In particular, it is synthesized in tissue undergoing senescence or ripening. The transportation or the pathway of transportation is, being a gas, ethylene moves by diffusion from its site of synthesis. Because it is a gas, so it moves by the process of phenomena of diffusion from where it is synthesized. A crucial intermediate in its production is 1-aminocyclopropane 1-carboxylic acid, that is ACC, that can however be transported and may account for ethylene effects at a distance from the causal stimulus. There is a compound, intermediate compound in production of ethyl or transportation of ethylene that is produced, that is ACC, 1-aminocyclopropane 1-carboxylic acid, which may account the effects of ethylene at distance from the causal stimulus. Now, what are functions of ethylene? Or what are the effect of ethylene, or we can say application of ethylene on plant? That is, ethylene is known to affect the following plant processes. The number first is it stimulates the release of dormancy. Next is it stimulates shoot and root growth and differentiation, that is triple response. Triple response is very important. And what is triple response? It is the stimulation of shoot and root growth and differentiation, may have a role in adventitious root formation. It stimulates leaf and fruit abscission. Also, it stimulates bromeliad flower induction. Induction of femaleness in dioecious flowers. Stimulates flower opening and stimulates flower and leaf senescence. The next hormone is salicylates. So next compound is salicylates. Salicylates have been known to present in willow bark for quite some time. They have only recently been recognized as potential growth regulators in plant. These are, or salicylic acid is synthesized from amino acid phenylalanine. The precursor for salicylic acid is amino acid phenylalanine. With the help of phenylalanine, the synthesis of salicylates occur. In which part of the plant is occur, or site of the synthesis is willow bark. Now, what are the effects which it includes, or what are its function, or what are its role? Thermogenesis in arum flowers, plant pathogen resistant, stimulate plant pathogenesis and protein production, reported to enhance longevity of flowers, reported to inhibit ethylene biosynthesis, also reported to inhibit seed germination. It blocks the wound response and reverse the effects of abscisic acid. That is ABA. These are the basic functions of salicylates, which is being synthesized from phenylalanine, amino acid phenylalanine. Which part? Bark of the plant. The next is jasmonates. Jasmonates are represented by jasmonate and its methyl esters. They were first isolated from the jasmine plant, in which the methyl ester is an important product in perfume industry. Jasmonic acid is synthesized from linolenic acid, which is an important fatty acid. That is precursor for jasmonate is a fatty acid, that is linolenic acid. And in which plant is it synthesized? Jasmine plant. Jasmine is a flower. Jasmine flowers are basically used in perfume industries. So the effects, various effects of jasminates on plant is like it is used for inhibition of many processes such as growth and germination. It, uh, it is involved in inhibition of many processes such as growth and germination, promotion of senescence, abscissions, tuber formation, fruit ripening, pigment formation, and tendril coiling. Basically, we can see tuber formation in potato. This take place in underground shoots. Example, that is potato. In potato, we must have seen that small tubers are present. So the jasmonates type of hormone is basically responsible for tuber formation. They appear to have important roles in plant defense by including proteinaceous synthesis. So these were the basic plant hormones which are responsible for growth of the plant, its development, its fruits ripening, its abscission, its dormancy, or any abnormality present in plant. So plant hormones are very important substances present in plants, and its role is also very important. The slight increase or decrease can lead into deterioration of plant or any very large or major damage, or can lost of can cause loss of species also, various different types of disorders in plants. So its appropriate amount, appropriate secretion, presence is very important. So plant hormones are very important substances present in plants. Thank you.